Good morning, everyone. I am Ayush Sahai from MCA first semester. I would like to thank Professor Ramesh Shukla sir who has given me the chance to present the topic Introduction to UML and its applications. We will start this. There is object-oriented modeling. Okay, because in the time when software engineering used the object-oriented principles, there were many ways to model, visualize, or design the components of software in that industry. Okay, and object-oriented approaches are modelized such that development may be carried out in a universally accepted standard way. Okay, and under that, first came OMT, object modeling techniques, and then secondly, the unified modeling language came. The history of OMT. OMT object modeling technique was developed by James Rambo in the late 1980s, and it is used for analysis and design of the components of software. The key goal is to create a standardized method for object-oriented systems. Now, it was the preliminary step in development of object-oriented software in the industry. There were many other software development standards, approaches, and notations. It was tedious in interpretation, conversion, and expending of a lot of time. Expending utilization of time where no output is obtained. That means expending. Okay. Then third is what do OMC contains. There are three models under OMC, that is object model, dynamic model, and functional model. The object model shows the class and instance representation with representation of relationship among the classes and instances. Instances can be also understood as objects of classes. Dynamic model contains the state transition diagrams, and the functional model contains the data flow diagrams as well as the control flow diagrams. Introduction of UML. UML is known as Unified Modeling Language, and it was developed in 1990s, and it was created by three people: Grady Bush, Ivar Jacobson, and James Rambo. And these three people in team are also known as the three amigos. It unified multiple modeling methods. Okay, and it is the standardized way of representation of software making techniques in object orientation. It came in 1997. The standard committee was named the Object Management Group, OMG, and UML was the next step after OMT. It has more versatility than OMT for the construction of software components, and this intends to make construction, documentation, and visualization by the help of universally accepted standards. What does UML contains? UML contains all the diagrams under OMT as well, and there are more diagrams, nearly 13 plus diagrams are under it. It contains structure diagrams, behavior diagrams, and the interaction diagrams. Under structure diagrams, there is class, object, component, and deployment diagrams. Behavior diagrams are use case, activity diagrams, state machine diagram. Interaction diagrams contain the sequence and communication diagrams. The UML generalizes and enhances OMT by including its notations and adding many more standardized diagrams to support a wider range of system modeling. UML extends the OMT used for notational visualization of software components, their interactions, and the relationships between them. Now let's see what are the differences between UML and OMT. UML was developed by a team of three people. They were Bush, Jacobson, and Rambo. And OMT was made by only James Rambo. The OMT is not a standardized way to depict object orientation modeling, while UML is universally accepted standard. Then extensibility. OMT had limited diagrams, okay, so limited ways to represent the concepts, but UML has 13 plus diagrams by which we can represent the modules and their interactions. Now, the real world example of UML. We can also make a scenario of building an online shopping system. We can make the use case diagram here. Means the user side and the administrator side. There is login, view product, checkout. Okay, so there is user module, and the user is intending to use the interface of the user module only. Discuss a scenario. Okay, we'll make it quickly that if we are making any online shopping system, we are primarily focusing on the user interface. Okay, that the customer is going to interact, or he is going to interact with the login module, view the products that he has purchased. Okay, then we are making the class diagram because there is a representation of user. There are various kinds of users. There will be the various kinds of products, and there will be various kind of orders. The orders that are placed, they are finalized. The orders which are being returned, or on that refund is being taken. Then there is sequence. Sequence diagram is utilized when the sequence of interactions are being demonstrated. Like first person is going to select the product, then he will place the order. If he is not satisfied, then he will refund that thing. Okay, on that order. Then there is activity diagram. It will it will depict the steps in which how a user can register himself to the application.